Guys, before we get into the podcast, I just want to say we're giving away 10,000 drivers.
Kieran, we're not giving away 10,000 drivers.
No, that's wrong. 10,000 subscribers.
At 10,000 subscribers, we are giving away our driver.
Oh, right.
Maybe some other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Oh, great.
Sometimes golf is a pain in the butt. You hit your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us. 'Cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hello, and welcome down to episode 14 of the Rough Cut podcast. On the precipice of the golf season beginning, the sun is beginning to peek out from behind the heavy laden clouds. The grass is beginning to grow, and Augusta is just around the corner. This is the most exciting time of the golf season. The anticipation is palpable, and also palpable is the talent of the assembled team that will bring you the Rough Cut podcast today. We have Mick, we have Kieran, we have Jacob. Gentlemen, how was your weekend?
Very, very nice. Thank you for asking. I had a wonderful weekend. I feel refreshed. I feel ready for the week.
Did you go home? You went home?
No, I didn't. I went to go visit my friends in Walsall, just outside of Birmingham.
Very nice.
Yeah, had a little get-together with all my uni mates. It was very nice. Very, very good to see everyone.
You went home, didn't you, Kieran?
I did.
Was it someone's birthday?
It was. It was my nan's 93rd birthday.
That looked like a great party.
It was, yeah. It was good.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Good on her. 93. Wow.
Yeah, 93. She's still doing strong. She's probably doing better than me, to be honest.
And she shot her age this year as well.
Yeah, literally.
Go on, love.
Yeah. But yeah, no, she's doing all right. Yeah, and it was good. I cycled 50 miles yesterday.
Very good.
Yeah, you said you burned like 3,000 and something calories.
If I'm a little bit like uncomfortable, I don't know what those bones are called. Butt cheeks? Or butt bones, where they are.
Coccyx. Your butt bones.
Yeah, you're like
bones.
your pelvis.
Really,
I don't know.
Your butt bones.
Really sore.
Okay.
Really sore.
I think we've just seen the classes that Kieran skipped at school
Yeah,
to go play golf.
Did not go to biology.
Did not go to biology.
I did A-level PE as well. Jesus, I should know that.
Well, that's a good breakdown of what you did at the weekend. I had the kids, played some Wii golf. What did you do on the weekend, Peter Finch?
I played a game of sociable golf.
Yes!
Don't believe it.
I was so excited for this.
Yeah, it was truly thrilling.
And you sound thrilled.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't play very much social golf anymore, i.e. without a camera. So it was quite nice to go and have a knock, play around Shore Hill in Preston for the PNE versus Blackpool Golf Day kind of thing.
It needs a snappier name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Memorial Day. It was just basically some ex-players and some fans coming together. I think it was only about like 4 balls in the end, and Blackpool ended up winning, which isn't great.
Yeah, so you're a Preston fan.
I'm a Preston fan, yeah. But I halved my match. I think we managed to bring a solid half home, and it didn't rain. So all in all, positive. It's got me in the
first. Were you up first or last?
No, they put me as a middle of the pack.
Okay,
yeah, middle.
Just like holding strong.
Yeah, trying to bring that middle section home.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was good. It was nice to be out. It's got me again in the mood for the golf season. So,
any like sneakily good golfers who were so as ex-football pros there.
Yeah,
some general PNE and Blackpool celebs.
Yeah.
Any like tasty golfers out there?
I think Andrew Lonergan's a fairly low handicapper. Preston keeper, Liverpool keeper. I think he was pretty decent. But
nice.
Apart from that, I didn't really see. I was focused on my own game.
I was concentrating on getting the half.
Yeah,
I will secure a point. I will get a point.
That's all I was really kind of concerned about. I was worried about.
No, it sounds like you had a great time. Speaking of playing social golf, me and Jacob knocked out some social golf last weekend.
Yeah.
Which we didn't get a chance to talk about. We played round your home track, Kieran, which was lovely. We were both extremely tired and extremely frustrated and didn't shoot anywhere near to what we would like to.
No.
I believe on one of the holes I shot a 9.
Yes.
What hole was that?
It was the one that's down the hill and round the corner.
Down the hill and round the corner.
Oh,
quite late.
on the
10th
the left.
Yeah, 10th.
Where you kind of like lay it down to the bottom of the slope. And then,
No, the 10th is after you cross back over the road.
It's later on than that. It's like
later
the 14th or something.
Yeah,
it's that short one you lay it down.
Then there's the hard par 3.
16.
Horrible.
16. Yeah.
topped my 3-wood 3 times in a row.
Good hole that, because you can either go for it or you can lay up.
Yeah, so I said this. So we were on like the tee box, like right to the left. So to go over the top would be quite, whereas on the right hand side you can be a bit more. But just plopped a hybrid down there.
It would not have mattered.
No.
I was so tired by that point that when I got to the point where I actually had to swing the golf club, my body was like, again? Really? You're going to do this again?
Because you played before, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So we haven't spoken about this yet on the podcast, but I played with 2 of the guys from our Discord channel. So if you haven't joined the Discord channel, now is the time. It's down there in the description. We're basically, we have lots of outlets for the content that we create. We have, of course, this channel where the podcast goes out. We have the Peter Finch Golf main channel. We have Swing Quest. We all have our own things going on outside also. But the Discord is kind of a place where everyone can kind of join together, talk about golf and life and about the kind of content that we're putting out. So if you haven't joined, it's the place to be. I played with Lewis and Tom at Market Harbour Golf Club, which is just outside of Leicester. And it was a great time. It was a very hilly course. And my trolley that I had borrowed ran out of juice on the 7th hole.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So I dumped it at the clubhouse and walked the rest.
I was going to say, that's a heavy pull then, isn't it?
Yeah, God.
If it's an electric
It
one.
was weighing me down big time. But yeah, really enjoyable round of golf. Again, got me very excited for what is to come. Now, Kieran.
Yes.
The clocks have gone back.
Forward. Spring forward.
What does that mean?
Full back.
What does that mean for us?
9 holes after work.
Yes, it does.
Is that what your first thought was?
Yeah, as soon as
Evening golf.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday I didn't get dark till like 7:30. And I was like, perfect.
That's gonna be
Absolutely perfect.
It's interesting how our minds work differently. See, I see that as, well, we can film later then. On the golf course.
Or film earlier.
We can do both. How exciting. We can start at 5, we can finish at 9.
We can play 54 holes.
I'll start early as you want. I'll start very early. But, after 5:30, now we can get on the golf course. Perfect.
Yeah, what's it at the beginning of The Hangover where Bradley Cooper's character, he's a teacher, isn't he? He leaves and one of the students starts to talk to him and he's like, I don't know you, loser, it's the weekend. Yeah. After 5:30, work doesn't exist. Straight to the course. As well as your golf day, we're actually going to play in a semi-competitive golf event.
It's a comp. It's competitive for me.
It's competitive for us.
That's all we need.
We've signed up for the Coronation Open at Marple Golf Club to play as a 4-ball. Peter has kindly stepped aside so that David can play with us, which is going to be very exciting.
Did he get a choice?
No, he didn't.
I was going to say, there's no stepping aside. I didn't even know.
Well, I don't know if. Would you like to play?
No.
There we go.
No, I wasn't invited.
You can come caddy if you want.
No. I'm not carrying around Marple. You think Market Harbour is silly? Let's burn it.
See,
yeah, well, David's going to need someone to carry his bag, so either Jacob's double strapping it, or so yeah. If you're around on the 8th of May and you want to come and lose to a team of people from the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, then come along and we'll batter you.
And you will lose.
You will. What videos have just come out?
What has just come out? We had the fitting.
Yeah,
30,000 fit.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think. But yeah, from last time it was PXG fitting and playing with the Four Brothers.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Well, the Four Brothers channel. We play with 3 of them.
But there's 3 of them.
Yeah, it's no, we play with 3 of them.
Good lord.
Yeah.
So there's actually 4 of them.
Yeah, Connor wasn't there.
So there's 3 of them on the video, but there's 4 of them in real life.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
And they're called Four Brothers, but it's 4 for golf. But then they also have Four Brothers, the number.
But only 3 of them were free on the day when the Four Brothers wanted to film.
Correct.
Wow.
Wild.
Wow, incredible. Nice to see we're so sharp and on it this morning.
Yeah, we've all had coffee. Yes!
Both of those are good. And later in this podcast episode, we're going to actually be playing an interview which we kind of queued up in the PXG fitting video, 30 grand club fitting, with Bob Parsons, the billionaire owner of PXG and of Scottsdale National Golf Club. So that's going to be coming up very shortly. It's an interesting conversation. I don't think I've ever spoken to a billionaire before. Really? So, yeah, that was new.
Hold on. You've played with some big boy pros. Surely some of those are like big boy money.
No, not. You've got big boy money, then you've got like big
money.
money. You've got billionaire money.
You've got F off money.
It's the type of money that it just doesn't make sense. Like,
it's like the thing of where like Bill Gates, if he like dropped a £10 note on the floor, it's like not worth his time to pick it up again.
I think it's Bezos, isn't it?
He's something like that.
If he drops $100, it actually cost him more to go and pick it up than the $100 that he dropped.
Just carry on. Yeah, so it's that kind of it's that kind of money. The kind of money and the kind of people that think they've got so much money to use, they might as well build rockets to launch themselves into space.
That's true, yeah.
Because they've completed life on Earth. So
you'll have to drop in the video of Bezos laughing after coming off that rocket. It's hilarious. He's definitely a cyborg. He's got to be a lizard.
A lizard man. He's trying to get in contact with his species.
100%.
Was he a nice guy?
Yeah, it was lovely. I mean, it's always hard to tell, isn't it? Because everyone was there from a media point of view to talk about the new PXG clubs, and he's obviously going to be a nice guy to everyone who was there. I tried to ask him some, interview-esque questions about pricing of PXG and like what the thinking is behind what they're doing now. But like I said, that is all going to be.
Is it proper like journalist Pete?
Yeah, a little bit of journalist Pete.
Back to the old days.
Back to the roots.
Someone's fell into a grain silo, and I need to go and interview their family. That kind of level. Not full on
journalism. If you're expecting Paxman, it's not.
Hard hitting.
Think more Jay Leno.
Interview.
Think more Jay Leno. Pretty light. Couple of incisive questions.
Yeah, and a huge car collection.
Nice, cool. So it's late night with Peter Finch, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's our third channel that's coming up. Looking forward to that.
Prepping for a new channel. Absolutely. So yeah, that was good. And I think with that, I mean, if you've not watched the PXG video yet, the 30 grand fit in, probably watch that kind of here as well. Just explains a little bit more about
up here somewhere what
PXG and what Bob Parsons is about. Just mental.
Cool video.
Was that your only interaction with him? Just that 15 minutes, or was there?
No. I had a meal with him as well.
Right. Okay. So so you had him outside of interview as well.
Yeah. Well, you queue up your phone, just like speak more in this direction.
We all like on the first night we had a meal, and I was basically sat at his table.
Wow.
And I think there was about 8 of us at his table.
They're really trying to schmooze you a little bit.
Oh yeah. There was like me, a few other journos. Darius Rucker, who's like a country singer.
Oh yeah,
he was there.
Nice. Yeah.
There's a few other. I can't remember his name now, but there's a few other there's a film star I recognised. Can't remember his name. You didn't
tell us any of this.
Yeah, no, it's just who I hang around with now. But we were sat down in the main clubhouse, and he's got like a hearing aid in. He's got deaf in one ear, I think, from literally Vietnam. And
wow, Jesus!
It was basically like it was quite hard to hear because we were speaking and like the noise was bouncing everywhere.
Right, yeah.
So we ordered our food and he stood up. He just stood up. I thought, he's going to make a speech, but he didn't. He looked over at one of the barmen. I can't remember his name. Let's call him George. And he's like, George, and like George like scampers over. He says, "Too loud in here. We're going into the private room." And I was like, right, okay. And like George is like, I don't think he's ready, Mr. Parsons. And he's like, nah, get ready. We're going in there. So he had a little bit of chat and he said, right, guys, follow me. And like,
no way.
So we left everybody else in this dining room in the clubhouse. We walked through the back, sat into this dining room where they'd been having the presentation of the PXG clubs, basically. They'd just redone it.
Yeah.
We all sat down. So it was better. We could all hear each other. Mm-hmm. And we were just all like chatting around and it was all very pleasant. And one of the journalists from it's Golf Magic, I think he was from, he ordered the foie gras to start.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all foie gras.
What's that?
That is goose.
It's the cruelest food.
They basically force feed a goose because the liver tastes slightly better.
God.
Yeah, they force feed a goose until the liver bursts open, basically.
Oh, right.
So yeah, very pleasant stuff.
Which is abhorrent,
right.
which is horrible.
So he had that anyway. But he was just having a normal glass of wine. And like Bob was looking over him saying, "What you drinking?" And he's like, "I'm just drinking this wine, whatever it was." He says, "No,
yes.
No, you can't have that wine with that." And I was like, "Okay." And this English lad is like, "Oh, okay,
sorry."
And he's like, gets George over again.
George,
by the way, is circling this table.
Hero of the story,
like
George.
like an eagle. Like whenever there is a glass empty,
like an overhyped bird from the PXG fitting video.
Exactly, yeah.
And he basically comes over. He says, "Get my friend here a bottle of the 1990 Chablis. You'll love it. You'll love it." So George goes back, brings out this wine, gives this wine, pours it out. But by this time, we've all finished our starters. So this poor, this poor guy's been forced to wait to eat his foie gras. So by the time he gets his wine, we're all looking at him when he's eating. And it's like, Bob's like, "What do you think?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, that's very nice. Thank you, sir."
It might just be your impression of him, but he does sound like a Bond villain.
Yeah,
he's very not in an aggressive way, but he's very pointy, to the point.
Right,
if that makes sense.
He has got quite a husky voice as well, hasn't he? He's
Yeah, it's quite to it.
He's a hardened man.
Hardened man, yeah.
It was good. It was very, like I said, it was very, very interesting. But we got on okay.
And how was Four Brothers?
Yeah, Four Brothers was good.
Yeah, you've said it was very windy to edit.
Yeah,
very, very windy.
It was. I mean, it was blowing 30, 40 miles an hour.
Bags were falling over, and it was just
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle to film, but I think the video came out really well, and there was some amazing golf being played.
Yeah,
really. You played really well.
Yeah, everyone was quite
well.
surprised.
Wow,
everyone was taken back.
Yeah,
I was taken back.
Weird.
I was hitting shots, looking up, and said, "What?
Bloody hell, it's gone exactly where I wanted it to."
Never seen it go that way before. I was going straight.
Yeah, but this stealth's gone straight for the first time in its career.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was really good.
During that, I was about to say.
I was going to say, we're not actually mentioned this yet, but during that video, my Stealth 2 Plus driver face went kaboom.
Kaboom, baby.
Kaboom, baby.
So you cracked the face on your driver? So
we think it happened, I hit a driver off the deck in the video, and I struck it. But after that point, some of the drives, they were behaving a little bit weird, flight-wise. And then finally hit a drive, struck it well, and the ball just literally dropped out of the air after about 100 yards.
It was like a knuckleball. It was like a Ronaldo knuckleball.
Yeah, so I was like, well, this isn't right. Anyway, checked the face, and the bottom of the face had popped out.
Wow.
So that obviously was a little bit of a concern. So we've reported it to TaylorMade. They said they've not had this problem before. Now, the thing is with TaylorMade and with the Stealth, because it is all about the face, if there are any issues with the face, then you automatically think, "Oh, there's some alarm bells here." But they've assured me they've not seen this problem before, and it was just a one-off, which is fine. They've sent me the new one. I've been testing that out, and it's been going well. And I think we may have found why the driver face actually broke as well.
Is it because you're so strong?
So we have a video coming out this week on Thursday where we tested out the new Wilson driver.
Oh, God, yeah. What a video.
Against the competition. I won't kind of spoil the results of it, but let's just say the Wilson driver this year is an absolute missile maker.
It's a machine.
But I also destroyed the face of that as well.
You did. Now
you're just hitting it too hard, aren't you?
Well,
I was going to say, early in the year, or maybe end of last year, beginning of this year, you were hitting the gym quite hard. Do you think that you're kind of seeing the residual effects of just being hench now?
Not really. No, not really.
You're like, yeah, they definitely need to roll back the drivers so I don't break them all.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest, but I think there is something where during the testing, I'm doing the 120 mile an hour tests to get that solid baseline compared to the other drivers we've been testing. And then I'm doing a full out swing as well, which is getting just under 130 at the moment.
Right, okay.
And I don't know if it's just the inconsistency of how I strike it at that speed, but that's 2 driver faces within 2 weeks. And, you do get coincidences, but the universe is rarely that lazy.
What's the ball speed when you're doing it 130?
180?
If I'm catching it, it's high 180s,
Yeah, it's like a 189. It's the big boys in there.
Yeah, 189 at PXG was probably the fastest out there. So.
That is quick.
Oh, yeah, and it's not I'm still going to the gym, but I'm not doing as much as I was 12 months ago.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if this number was correct, but I'm fairly sure that drive that Rory hit on 18, the when he drove the green on the final, I think his final group match.
Yeah, 3-7.
On the 4 production, they said I think they said 188.8 for that. So you're hitting it as hard as Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, there are a few differences though. It's like
he launches it.
His actual control of the ball flight, spin numbers, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, but don't have to get into that.
No, you do. You know what? The best analogy is I could actually drive as fast as Max Verstappen in the same car in a straight line, but as soon as it comes to a corner, I explode into a fiery ball of death.
Yeah.
So I can swing the club fast, but that really doesn't mean anything unless the strike and the launch and everything else is good. So,
all right.
Yeah.
I was just trying to hype you up for a minute.
No, don't. He doesn't need it.
Because this all.
Listen, he halved his match with some ex-player from Blackpool. He's already on cloud nine.
This always comes up in the videos, and it's very nice of you to say, because it's like people watching, and they're saying, "Oh, you're swinging at this speed. It's coming off at this. So why aren't you playing in tournaments?
Yeah,
why aren't you winning tournaments?
You can hit the ball very fast and very far.
Yeah, but it's not consistent.
Yeah,
and
do you know how many? Do you know how many takes it takes to get one of those on camera?
One.
Load. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, one. Just one take. Actually, saying that, the beginning of the Wilson video is one of the longest drives I've seen you hit in a very long time.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely bombed.
Literally was the first one you filmed.
Yeah,
you went in there in the other room in the sim room, and we heard you hit one, and we heard you react to it, and it literally was the first one out of the gate.
Yeah. Really?
Touched my toes a couple of times, had a few squishes.
I'm a trained athlete.
I'm an athlete. Yeah.
Nectar coffee, ready to go.
I can't help being at the peak of athletic performance.
Clearly.
I think it was that pot noodle you had beforehand that just really did it for you.
Yeah, that was good actually. I enjoyed that. The pot noodle and the drive, obviously, of course.
No, yeah. There's been some real speed in that room recently. You have got, however, a slightly more competitive match coming up, which we are going to go and film tomorrow.
Yes.
Which is coming out Monday, or is it out? No, next week. It's coming
next
out
Monday.
It's coming out next Monday.
Next Monday, yeah.
Which is a Best Golfer on YouTube match.
Yeah, someone we've not ever had on the channel before, I believe.
No, I think we
not
filmed,
on our channel.
Yeah, we filmed a couple of videos with him up in Scotland for his channel. So he said James Robinson, the club reviewer, not the tour pro golfer. There are so many James Robinsons.
You're actually playing a scramble against both of them.
Yeah, that's going to be a short video.
Like I said, every James Robinson.
Yeah.
That will be a very short video.
Pete could do like I take on every other Peter Finch, and you just go through the phone book and find all of them and take them all
Plenty
on.
of them. And in golf.
Isn't there a Peter Finch pro?
He used to be a pro. He works with golf mates now.
Right.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Doing the travel booking and stuff.
And the Peter Finch, he works for like Golf Monthly or something.
No,
like
Golf Digest.
Golf Digest.
Yeah.
So all the Peter Finches, this is a direct invite. Come out and play a scramble.
Did Peter Finch
have
Open.
you ever
Peter Finch Open? Yes.
Have you ever spoken about how you got a letter off Donald Trump on the podcast before?
No, I didn't. No. God, this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like, must be like. This was before he became president, and we played Trump International up in Aberdeen, and put some stuff out there. And I'm presuming that the staff at Trump Aberdeen fed it back to central office that like we'd been there and we'd done some stuff anyway.
Right.
Donald Trump must know that Peter Finch, who was editor at that time of Golf Digest in the US, sent him like a note saying, "Oh, hope you enjoyed yourself at Trump International." And then that Peter Finch emailed me saying, "Oh, I think this might be for you."
Oh my God.
Amazing.
That is fantastic.
So
why is that not? Have you got it? Is it a letter?
I can't remember. No, yeah, it was a letter that he sent to this guy, and then this guy either tweeted it to me or sent it to me.
Or took a picture or something.
Yeah, but I can't remember.
Imagine
what it is.
That would be a great thing to have framed in the office. So we should.
Yeah, I'd rather not. Thanks.
Go and track him down. That would be hilarious.
Is that the Scott Stallings Masters invite, isn't it? We got sent to the.
Yeah, I was going to say
yeah.
a lot like that story.
I think there's a Jacob Broadbridge pro out there. I don't think mine's in the post, unfortunately.
No.
Well, you're just getting invited because you're sick, mate.
Well,
you shot 91 at Disbury the other day.
Don't tell anyone the score.
I shot 96, so no better.
Hey, you got round Didsbury, that's the main thing.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, we're playing James over at his course at Woolley Park, which had not played before. And to be honest, it's one of those things like the Best Golfer on YouTube videos are really good because it does get us out and it actually gets us playing and meeting new people. Yeah. Obviously, we met James quite a few times, but never filmed with him properly. So yeah, that's gonna be good. And then we've got another one coming up that week, which we won't talk about just yet.
No.
Okay, it's another
online.
But it's a doozy.
Creator.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm going.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you'll be a week trip away.
That's going to be very exciting. That
one thing we have filmed though, which is coming out on April the 10th, which is the Monday after the Masters, is the Golf Bidder Challenge videos are back, and the club selection video is going to be going live on that Monday.
Cannot wait.
The time has come. It is here.
Do you know how excited I am? On the weekend, put the kids to sleep. I sat downstairs, bit of golf on, and I thought, you know what I'll do? I'll just have a go at making some idents, like just practicing for when that video gets put together. I think it's going to be very, very good.
What does idents mean?
I don't know.
Like, the like little graphics that come up, and people's names and club selections and all the kind of logos and stuff, flashing and glitching and lots of fun graphic-y things. So Lauren was sat there like, I was getting so excited.
Sick. I'm going to do it today.
You said sick, and I didn't.
Wow.
So yeah, it's coming out.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And then Rick's video is out on the 14th, which is the Friday, pretty sure. So yeah, Golf Bidder week proceeding after the Masters. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to seeing how they go down. I think...
I just feel sorry for the Masters, We're going to have to... They're going to have all that stuff, and then we're going to have to follow up and take all the glory. And,
it's going to be like this. People watching the Masters. People watching our videos. Going to be big. So... how much detail are we allowed to give about your Golf Bidder match with Rick Shields?
None of it.
Not even what the format was.
No.
Just let it.
Okay.
Yeah, let
okay, fine. I'm just
take your idents, put them back in your pocket, and chill out.
Yeah, and I'll put them in the descrippy. Let's get to what happened in the world of non-YouTube golf over the kind of last 3 or 4 days. The WGC, which was.
R.I.P.
It's last running. How much did you actually manage to catch? I mean, well, it sounds like everyone was very busy. So how much did you actually get?
Yeah, I managed to watch a fair bit of it now.
Yeah,
a couple of days.
Got quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah,
because it started on the Wednesday, didn't it? So it was like Wednesday to Sunday. So a lot of matches.
Yeah, so much longer event than normal.
So good.
Yeah.
The match play is just so good. I love it.
Yeah, it's my favourite format by a long way.
Yeah,
I think... So this is going to be the last iteration of the WGC version of it.
Yeah.
And I think it was pretty universal, really, last night, that everybody was saying there has to be some kind of match play event during the year.
100%.
It was, however, last night, I would say, a good example of why a lot of people, as far as TV is concerned, a lot of executives would think, you know what, it is the risk to actually host an event like this.
Yes.
Because we didn't get the final that I think everybody wanted. So in the semi-finals, you had both Rory, Scheffler not so much, but you had Rory and Scheffler in the semi-finals. And you were thinking, if they...
And in opposing brackets.
Yeah, exactly. If they both win, that's the final. Probably the two best players in the world right now, apart from Rahm. That's the kind of face-up you want to see.
Over 18 holes, literally battling
Couldn't
it.
have
Just them.
Better.
You don't have to worry about anyone else playing. Perfect.
Yeah. But in the semi-finals...
and pulled away.
Yeah, they both lost. So Sam Burns and Cameron Young, they got through to the final and had that match. And it's one of those things where I think people still watched it. They were still interested. Yeah. But it did have a slightly flat feeling in respects that everybody wanted that match in the final from a fan's point of view. And we got kind of Burns and Young, which again, absolutely fine. Sam Burns is my boy this year.
Still two very, very good golfers who were playing excellent for the entire week.
And the future of the BJ Tour. Those two.
But do you think, I was going to say, do you think it was it was only a little bit of a letdown because there was the possibility of Scheffler versus Rory?
Yeah.
It was, and it also got doubled up by the fact that the final wasn't that great. 6 and 5 win as well, kind of just spoiled. If it went down to wire, it'd been great to watch those two guys go back and forth.
Yeah,
we didn't get it.
Yeah, it just had the weird thing in the final with kind of Sam Burns went nuclear and Cameron Young just was off the pace slightly.
Well, he took it all out on that last shot on 18 when that third shot. That was not talked about enough. That was so good, that shot.
So
From 205 yards, had an awful...
On the
on the semi-final.
The Rory match.
The Rory match.
Yeah. They shot into par 5. 16? 17?
No.
16.
Oh, yeah, because it went... Oh, yeah, of course, because it went 18,
to
was it? Yeah, it went to... Yeah.
So
that was so good.
It was good. It was great.
So good.
But... And it was a bit of an issue as well because that match finished early. From a broadcasting standpoint, that also meant they had a lot of time to fill.
They were getting it in there really like, right, we got a pad so that the sponsors, don't get angry. You got to fill 45 minutes with let's watch every putt from the last 7 days, and you're like, good lord, this is starting to stretch. You can hear the producers in his ear like, longer, go longer.
It was. I mean, as far as the golf goes, it was a really good week though. I think the golf on show was amazing. Like the McIlroy and Xander Schauffele.
That was the best match of the week, I think.
So this was the match that I unfortunately missed the most of. I was out with friends, but once we got back to theirs, I was looking on my phone, I was watching it, and I think when I looked, they were coming just off the 17th green.
Yeah.
So we all sat around having drinks and stuff, and the telly was on. I was like, can we stick the golf on, please? There's like 10 minutes where I had everyone's eyes like on watching like the final hole.
Can I just do a tiny bit of golf, please?
I got everyone into it. They loved it.
Yeah. I think match play is like a little bit more approachable to the non-in-depth golf fan. Like I know from my perspective, being much newer to the game than you guys, that I find match play not easier to follow necessarily because stroke players like they're all trying to go as low as possible. But match play feels a little bit more like what I'm used to, which is like a team sport or like a this team versus this team or this snooker player versus this snooker player or whatever. Like it felt a little bit more approachable.
Those 1v1s.
It feels like there's so much more jeopardy there as well. Like I was when Jason Day, I turned the TV on and he was 3 up against Scheffler. I was like, yes. Yeah, Jason. And I never get that with like watching. I don't really like watching TV golf anyway, really, except like the majors. But like, the match play just has to stay for me.
Yeah.
What would you? Because I think one of the things they spoke about quite a bit was maybe trying to turn it into more of a 3-day event and then having it as a smaller field, 32 guys, and then having it as just like one bracket straight away. So you're ranked, and then you just go in to the middle, make it a 3-day event. Which I don't dislike the sound of that. I like the fact that it will keep match play on the calendar, as mentioned.
I think the members will be very happy.
Yeah. But it's like...
Instead of a 7-day
It's easy to sit back as well, because obviously they play for 5 days, and they do play a lot of rounds of golf, which, again, it's like, that's also... But, like, that is a lot of golf to play.
That's also part of the test, though, that I love as well.
Right.
Like, they're playing, like...
In the end, they played 119 holes. Yeah, the guys who played in the final.
So good.
You could see... in the consolation match, worst name for a match ever, but you could see in there.
It feels like, doesn't it?
The Scheffler's swing does look a little bit cumbersome at times anyway, but you could see he was getting a bit tired. He was getting a bit wild. Yeah. Which it does feel like a bit of an anticlimax with that match. I think the problem with if you make the field less and just do it as a straight knockout. Obviously, that's what it used to be back in the day. The big problem with that is a really good player could go out early, which is why they've done it into this group system. Gives
the kind of the longer players a bit more time to, work their way through a group, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, what the format would be. I agree. I mean, I think match play, it does have to stay in some format. I think everybody's spoken about that pretty much universally. I don't think anyone came on and said, you know what, I'm really glad the match play's finishing.
Yeah, I think also like it was Paul McGinley who was on as well. Like they were also saying it as well.
Yeah.
Like on air. So it was like, it was...
Match play is so exciting. Yeah, it's so exciting.
It has to stay.
I was trying to explain it to Lauren a little bit. Like it's a bit like it's the difference between 2 football teams playing against each other at the same time, or seeing who can score the most penalties and not really affecting each other at all, which is what kind of stroke play feels like. It's like it's you versus the course, where this is you versus the other person. Kieran, I airdropped you something which I think is very interesting, which is a list of ways that you can get a leg up on your competition in match play. Peter, you played a lot of golf over the course of your life. What percentage of it would you say was kind of match play or team related?
Well, I think when playing junior golf, it was mostly all kind of match play.
Really?
Against different clubs.
Right. Okay. Against So you go and play the guys from down the road.
Yeah, and like different counties, stuff like that. So that's all match play. Either foursomes, 4-ball, or singles, whatever it's going to be. And then club competitions, they were stroke play. But match play is in many respects, it is like the purest. It's the purest form of golf. And you are right. It is simple. It's very simple because you're just playing against one opponent. You get the low score on the hole. You win that hole.
And it also it cuts out particularly as earlier in your golf journey, it cuts out the embarrassing scores on the card, because if someone else, like, you can concede the hole, can't you? If you've I've shot 6 already and this guy's down in 5, great, I don't even have to worry, just pick up. And
it's a lot quicker. It's just simpler as well. Like, you're not going to win the hole, you're not going to halve it. Okay, pick up, let's move
on. Did you have any tactics, which is what this list is, any tactics for getting a leg up without actually being better at golf that you could employ?
That was the best tactic.
Yeah, to be better at golf. Okay. Kieran,
pick someone who doesn't play golf.
What's on this list?
We've got slow and fast play.
Okay, so one of the things. So I'm a big Ryder Cup fan. That's how I kind of got into my golf journey, was kind of through the Ryder Cup. And Paul McGinley actually said that he would pair up players who played really fast and hope that they would end up playing against players who played really slowly.
Slow,
Because if I know that Jacob likes to take his time and likes to visualize the shot and kind of step up to it a few times, feel the lie, work out then I'll go really, really quickly in order to counteract it, so that he's like thrown off his game a little bit. I'm already up by the green waiting for him, and you're now on edge.
Yeah. Well, such as like the golf swing is, heavily based around the tempo. I think the speed you play, if that gets knocked off, that definitely can affect you.
Just their rhythm as well, their pre-shot routine and everything. Like, it's just all not.
If they feel like they're, they feel like they need to
like in a rush.
Quicken up.
Yeah.
I always think that would work the other way, though. I always think if you're a slow player and you take your time, and it doesn't bother you that the other player's quick, it's probably going to affect the quick player more, because they're going to be waiting around a lot more.
True, it can work both ways.
Yeah, I played a couple of rounds of golf with my dad and his friends, and they play very quickly. They're like ready golf, which makes complete sense in a 4-ball. Like, get to your ball, look around, make sure everyone else is okay, then hit your shot. Great. But like getting into it, I want to be thinking like I need time for my brain to do the calculations before I hit it. But I was like always under like great stress. Oh my gosh, they're all up there waiting for me. You got to be quicker. So that's another a sneaky tactic. What else is on this list, Kieran?
We've got need me to move that.
So, yes. So
that's a good one.
This is a really good one. So even if you know that your ball marker is not on the line of their putt, still asking them whether they need you to move it, just to throw that little bit of doubt into their brain about whether they've picked their line correctly.
Right. I like it.
Yeah. Savage. Do you need me to move up? Oh, you don't? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of them.
Mind games. It's complete mind games.
100% mind games.
You're hitting driver even when you're not. So I'm assuming with that one, it's like you take it out of the bag, assuming that you're going to hit it. Like the other opponent thinks you're going to hit that, and then you might change last minute. That's what Tiger used to do really well. I remember
that is so sneaky, that.
Yeah, Adam Scott did like a podcast once, and he said that he was playing against him, and he saw Tiger take out like a 4-iron. So he was like, right, I need to something around that.
It's got to be 4-iron,
then
hasn't
he goes, hits it short, and then Tiger picks out another club. It's like...
That is savage.
He knows that he wanted to hit like a different...
Yeah.
Tiger knew exactly what he wanted to do.
That's a sound...
Okay, so I learned this from editing the Matt Fryer Best Golf on YouTube video. Mm-hmm. Is it actually a shot penalty if you ask the other player what they've hit? Or is it like a little bit of a unwritten...
I think the rules have actually...
you've landed short. What did you hit?
It's all around asking advice.
Right.
So, like, you can ask now, like, the distance that kind of you've hit. And I think you can actually ask for, like, what club you've hit now. I think it used to be more, let's say I was set up over a shot and it was a blind shot. If I asked the other player, is that the right line?
So you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to do that. I'm not sure, like, what the rules have actually changed to now. Should probably brush up on that.
In social golf, like, what club did you hit there is probably the most commonly asked question.
Listen, if you've got the honour, I want to learn.
Yeah.
I want to learn from your mistake.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? It shows how little competitive golf I play at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, literally, those rules have blanked from my mind.
But also, like, hitting first into a green or, like, putting first, like Cameron Young yesterday with Rory. Like, he held that massive putt, and then there's then so much pressure on Rory to hold that putt. Like, he probably 9 times out of 10 is going to hold that putt.
Yeah, it's like
classic match play move.
Whereas people are like, oh, your putt just got a little bit longer because I hold mine.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. And the last one is make them putt everything early.
So this is the other thing. You know, like the you get to the green, it's kind of within gimme range. What's your thoughts on giving them loads early and then making them putt them at the end, or doing what Liv Cook did to you, which is making you putt loads early and then giving you a couple at the end?
I would much rather. I would make them put a couple of short ones early on.
Yeah.
And then
get in the head a little bit.
And then within reason, give them as many putts as possible.
What's the thinking behind that?
And then bring it back.
Yeah. Because what you want to be doing is like on the 6th hole, you know, the 3-foot putt that they hole is probably not going to be a load of pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
But all of a sudden, if it's all square on the 15th and they've got a 3-footer and they're not had to put one for 12 holes.
See, that is it.
That becomes a little bit different.
That's the brain, isn't it?
Yeah. But again, these tactics, they do work on some people, but they won't work on others.
Right. And I think also you'd have to be very careful who you do those kind of things to, because you could
fire people up.
You could either get someone to. So we're also trying to work out what motivates people. Jacob, if you tell Jacob he's rubbish, he'll hit it straight down the middle and 290.
Didn't know that about myself, but I've learned.
It does depend who they are as well. Like if they are just a bad putter, you just don't give them anything. Just make them put everything out.
Yeah.
And that will annoy them because they'll know that
you're doing it for a reason.
They'll know that you know that they're a bad putter. And they'll be like, right, thanks for that.
The mind games go so deep. See, this is the kind of thing that makes me think that match play needs to be much more prominent in the world of pro golf.
Just like us talking about it here, we all feel so excited with it. Whereas, like, you know, when it's like a normal competition, I just don't feel that.
The one thing that I would always like them to do, and I think it's been ventured before, I don't think it will happen, but to make the US PGA back to a match play event, because that used to be a match play.
Did it really?
Back in the day. So if you made a major into a match play competition, all of a sudden that is saying, okay, like we are here, this is going to stay. Match play, we think, is a really important part of the game. So important, then we're going to put one of the 4 major prizes on the line for it. Will it happen? No. But there is a way of making it, again, more prevalent. Why not have an event which is massively weighted as far as prize funded? Listen, we've got these events now, these elevated PGA
like
Tour
designated
events.
or whatever they're called,
Why not make one of them a match play?
Yeah.
Like, why not give it some extra incentive for players to actually... Obviously, the WGC is great, but what you've got there is Sam Burns has won this week a trophy which won't be played for again, which is...
We'll have to give it back for a while.
You can keep that one.
which is
the
cool.
current holder forever.
which is cool, but at the same time, it's kind of like part of the reason you would play golf, part of the reason that you want your name on the board in a clubhouse if you're an amateur, is that board is there forever.
Yeah.
And that someone will be looking at that in 50 years' time, thinking, oh, M. Warwick. Oh,
don't.
Player.
Getting chills.
What a boy.
Yeah, but also I think the match play thing is like you're developing a like one-on-one rivalry with the person that you beat in the final. You know, like now Burns and Cameron Young will have this like, oh, we played against each other in this final and you beat me. Yeah. Then when they meet back up again, it's like, you know, it's a little bit of retribution. Whereas if you just beat a field of, you know, like, there's not really any personal rivalry connection there.
I do think Cameron Young, like looking at Cameron Young, he does seem like the kind of thing that would internalize a grudge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like he would stare in the mirror every morning just until they meet Burns again.
Sam Burns is up on the dartboard like.
He's got like red wires going from all the shots he hit badly into Sam Burns' face.
Oh God, I can imagine.
All roads lead back to Sam Burns.
So, slightly worrying though that getting through to the final knockout stages, how little European representation there was. Like, that's maybe a slight concern.
Slight worry.
It's a bit of a problem.
And you would say that a lot of players who did make it through, I mean, you look at the 3 Americans who made it through to the final. Cam Young, he's definitely going to be the Ryder Cup. Burns is going to be there. Scheffler's obviously going to be there. Go back, Xander Schauffele, he's going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, Max Homa made it through, didn't he, in the end? Yeah, so he's going to be there. Pretty much everyone who made it through is going to be...
Rory's there like...
yeah, Rory's like...
Where the bloody hell is everyone?
I was going to say Rahm lost.
Yeah, so that's the only saving grace is that if Rahm is back on it, he's definitely in that top 3.
But we've got like 5 or 6 guys at the top of that European list that we need all of them to be on it straight away. Yeah. Hovland did poorly. Lowry did poorly. Fleetwood did poorly. Meronk, I thought, was good. I thought Meronk was a good show.
He
was unlucky because he was in that 3-man playoff with Finau, Kitayama, and Meronk. And Kitayama made like a 25-footer on that second hole to get through. But I thought Meronk played quite well. He's definitely one that I think maybe he's auditioned himself a little bit.
On the fringes of the team.
I don't know if I'm saying this because he's my man as well. So
you've got him,
trying to tell myself he's
Did
fine.
someone go for Burns, by the way, in this?
Yes, they
did. You did? Okay, so...
I was delighted to see my boy.
I was going to say, like, it's getting to that point now where we might need to, as the podcast goes forward, we might need to have our picks come up a bit more regularly so we can see how we're doing, because Burns is...
Well, we're almost there, because our picks are probably not going to be playing next week. The field for the Valero Texas Open is not that strong. I think Tyrrell might be playing, but I don't think anyone picked Tyrrell.
Who's got Scheffler?
You, isn't it?
You have, I think.
What?
Excited about that, are you?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, all right, okay, so you're
confident then?
You're thinking.
Yeah. I'm not.
But did anyone pick Jason Day? Because we all know he's going to win the Masters.
Oh, no, I didn't.
I think we all spoke about it. Same with Max Homa. By the way, if you don't know what we're talking about, we have got each a team that we're going to be going into the majors with. The position that you finish, that's how many points that you get. The person with the lowest points at the end of the year after the 4 majors, they're going to be the winner of this competition. If you miss a cut, then you get the number of people who've missed a cut as your points. My only concern is I've got Francesco Molinari, because I thought I thought that he would basically have a year because of the Ryder Cup being in Rome. He would make his way back, and it is not quite happening.
He's playing this week. He's playing this week, so fingers crossed.
I think possibly you maybe went a year early. Like, if he has a great time in Rome, maybe the following year.
No, but if he doesn't have a good year, he's not going to get to Rome.
I was about to say,
that's my point.
Yeah.
I hope
he's not going to be there by default. Not the way he's playing.
Anyone else got anyone you're concerned about?
Brooks kept
that was
such a good pick.
The smelliest choice, I have to say.
He is like. I had a look if he was at the Masters. He is at the Masters.
Yeah, he's there.
He's there.
I don't know how. I don't think he did very well in the last live event.
No, so I had a look.
He stinks at the moment.
Yeah, he really does stink. So
you're not feeling great,
I'm
Mick. How are you?
I'm not feeling great.
I'm feeling okay. I need Rob McIntyre to step up.
Oh yeah, McIntyre.
Yeah, but
I need McIntyre to step up.
People.
The other guys, I'm fine with. Like it's gonna be great. Rob McIntyre is my only concern.
I've not seen a lot of. The last time I saw of him, I think he was in the last group at the Magical Kenya Open. That was the last time I saw him.
I watched a bit of that
and
as well.
I think he went a 72 level par. Just
come on, Rob.
It around.
Come on, Rob. My computer is named after you.
I think he's gonna have a good year though. Rob.
Meronk is.
He's your outsider.
Not quite at where I'd want him to be, but he's still. I'm still happy. I'm still there.
I think with Meronk and McIntyre. Good name for a solicitor's firm, by the way. They're kind of like hovering. Yeah. They're like hovering around that precipice of just like really kicking on, and they're not quite there. They're not quite doing it as well as obviously we'd want, and obviously they'd want as well. Yeah. Obviously still amazing players, but you're just looking for that next breakthrough.
You need a bit of spinach, or something to push them over the edge.
Well, it's like the Højgaards. Like I know Nikolai finished second in the Shadow PJ Tour event this year.
Corrales Punta Cana Championship.
Yeah, if you want to look at it like that.
Good work.
And also in that, friend of the channel, Matt Wallace, broke through for his first PJ Tour win.
Yes,
well done, Matt. Well done, mate.
Well done, mate.
Congratulations, sir.
We
well golfed.
Filmed Matt a few years ago now, and like then his overriding ambition is still to get to the Ryder Cup. And
wow, yeah.
Oh, he wants it.
Yeah, he really wants it.
Yeah.
And he's such a... Like, he is he's obviously a fantastic golfer, but like when he's won in the past, it's always been very streaky.
Right.
So it really wouldn't surprise me if he like put together a few really good
just
results.
went nuts this year and then got like, in the team.
Yeah, like next few months, if he won a couple more times, that wouldn't be a big surprise.
Wow. Is he going to the Masters?
I think he will be there. Yeah,
you reckon?
I think I'm not sure. I think he's 175 in the world, but I don't know if his PGA Tour kind of rankings have got him there.
Right. When's the actual cut-off for the Masters?
Well, the world rankings, you have to be in by the start of like the tournament on Thursday. Like you can't play well on Thursday and then get into the top 50 and get in. So if you're not there now, because I remember Richard Bland had that like last year where everyone was like he was right on the precipice of getting in or not. So I think that has to be sorted. But there are places at the Texas Open, so he could go on and, like you say, if he's got a bit streaky, go on and win this week as well.
Push himself up the board a bit.
Honestly, it would not surprise me if he finishes top 5 again this week.
Look at the odds on that.
He's that kind of
Broadbridge bet of the week. Jacob has been lobbying us for the last kind of 3 or 4 weeks to have a kind of Jacob-focused betting segment where he talks about all of his picks. So do you reckon that's going to be your pick?
This week is sponsored by Peter Finch.
Yeah, Pete's picks this week.
Pete's picks. Listen, I like the ring of that one better, so unfortunately...
I'll tell you what, though.
Alliteration.
Is this the year? Obviously, we're going to be doing a special podcast for the Masters, but with Rory playing the way he is, going for that Grand Slam and those equipment changes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like he's obviously switched into this Scotty Cameron Blade Newport model, which he pretty much started.
I thought he looked really good with it.
His
putting just looked great over
the putting
it as well.
has just like it's weird how changing to this traditional putter has made his putting way better, like overnight.
He used to have a Scotty before.
Yeah.
That's where he won his first 2 majors with.
I mean, he's putting with that Spider. He wasn't bad, and like certainly points last year, he was like near the top of the rankings with his putting. It's not like he was struggling with it, but it's amazing what happens when you go back to something. Good memories come back.
Yeah.
This is coming from someone who switches their putter out.
3 times.
I'm surprised that Dell has lasted as long as it has.
Quite regular
Every Monday.
My fear would be is that honeymoon period.
Yeah.
It has a point where it will just fade, and I really hope that it is not at the Masters on that 3rd round when he's 3 in the lead. He's got a 4-foot putt on 16 for a birdie and he misses it, and he's like,
pulled that a bit,
and then it's a slow descent into everybody ripping their hair out as he misses out by 2 shots again.
That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's going to do it.
It doesn't matter. Jason Day's going to win.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we're in Jason Day's world right now. We're just living in it.
I think he's our outside pick. Oh, listen, we're going to do all of this next week. Let's not.
It's all going to be up.
Let's not throw us out.
Now I saw that the reason Rory went to a bladed putter was so that during the Matchplay event he could do the like very cool pick it up with the back of the putter jobby, and he couldn't do that with his spine, and that's the only reason he did it was to concede.
Now he needs to get a bit Billy Horschel's way of doing it. Did you see that?
Oh yeah,
did he
like
flip his thing?
The stick in the flip.
Stuck it into it and then ripped it around.
That is so cool.
And then just walked up.
How many times do you reckon he practiced it?
I mean, he'd done it on a putting green.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
I don't think that came to him the spur of the moment.
Talk to me about the shortened driver shaft that Rory's playing.
Yeah,
what does that do?
It's not a 3-wood shaft, is it? It's just a shortened.
No, it's a 44-inch shaft. I think it's half an inch shorter than his previous Ventus, but he's gone from the Ventus Black to the Ventus Blue, which is slightly softer. So I think he was spinning it a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you go to a short shaft, really simple. The shorter the shaft, the easier it is to find the centre of the club. The longer the shaft, the longer potential distance you have because the more speed you can generate.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But that is
he doesn't
really,
need help in that region, does he?
Really not an issue.
Yeah.
And I think we saw this week that him finding the centre of the face is absolutely dangerous.
Yeah. They showed his like the PGA Tour put up some stats of like all of his drives that were over 300 yards, and one of them, which I think found the cart path, was 420. And I was like, oh, the driver's working out then.
That'd be the one on the downhill par 5. Yeah, he carried over the car path.
Literally,
and bonged on it.
It just went miles. So it's not a massive concern for him that he's losing that little bit of distance because
half an inch.
He's still going to be one of, if not the longest on the tour right now. Yeah. But like, how much control? For us, for someone like us, it makes very little difference that change in length. But as you go into the pro game, do they feel can they feel that kind of change to a big level?
I mean, you know, everyone's different. I think some people would say half an inch matters more than others. But I think for the driver especially, a change like that can make quite a big difference. Again, setup-wise, it's going to be a little bit of a change, but just feel, if you're used to using a certain length of shaft for a certain length of time, like a little change in that setup is going to make a big difference feeling-wise. And if it fills in more confidence that it can find the centre of the face, that's going to be huge, especially with that Stealth 2 Plus. You know, the testing that we've done this year and the continuing testing that we're doing on it really does show out the centre, that driver is unreal. It's absolutely massive. Out the toe and the heel, not great.
I think Rory made some comments after one of his rounds that he'd been moving around spec on his driver for the last 2 weeks at the Arnold Palmer, at the Players. He'd been trying to find something.
Really?
And he was mentioning that he changed the loft, I think, going into the Players. And just that little click on the sleeve that has made it, just the look down on the ball looks slightly more open, or it was shut or open, I can't remember which one it was. Could see a bit more of the face because you've added a bit more loft. So just like to eye, just didn't sit right. Didn't like it.
It's mad how much a like tiny change like that can affect someone.
And I think
of that
like
level.
for us, I think you can see it, but it probably wouldn't affect us so much that we would have to kind of, you know, in his head, obviously, then all these things are going around. Oh, I'm going to hit this left now. I'm going to hit this right, whatever it might be. So it's nice that he's finally found something that we feel much more comfortable with him using.
He did all this testing at Augusta as well. Like all the driver
he went
testing
out, didn't
and
he?
all the thingy. So
He went out to Augusta.
That's going to be very, you know.
He said that again after
Kieran's so excited.
What are you trying to say, Kieran?
Can't wait.
I'm just going to wait till next week. I'm not going to. I'm so excited.
If you're listening to this rather than watching it, Kieran he's kind of saying a few things, then leaning back and just like throwing his hands up, just saying, I'm just saying.
I'll go in and I'll just not stop. So I'm just
hold back.
Yeah.
Hold it back.
Hold back the river.
You said you're very confident in Scheffler, and now you're also very confident in McIlroy.
Yeah, and Jason Day.
Okay.
And Spieth.
Just plant your flag in as many people, and then the victory lap is wonderful.
I'm already looking at like all the odds and everything.
Okay.
I was going to say you're not picking anybody. You're just building a fence of players to set on.
Yeah, when Brooks doesn't get it done. So it does just show how important it is to get kind of your fitting right and get your specs right, and tinkering is obviously something that goes on in the pro game as much as it does, you know, at amateur level. It's kind of a good opportunity for us to drop in your conversation with Bob Parsons, who you went to PXG to go and get fitted for all their new clubs. So we'll chuck it in. This is Pete having a conversation with Bob. Do you want to pre-roll it for us, Pete? How's it go?
Here's my conversation with Bob.
Enjoy.
First of all, thank you for having me down to Scottsdale National. This is a real treat.
Well, it's our pleasure, Peter. Good to see you.
It's been an incredible day. So we went out and played on the other course today, which was challenging. I wonder what it's like when it's still, because it was literally 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Well, you know, you're used to that coming from the UK. You know, my experience has been it's always a bit breezy there.
Yeah.
And you know, I have a very fond memory of playing, you know, as I mentioned at dinner last night, Tralee in Ireland.
Yeah.
And I remember the wind was blowing so hard, you know, it had an iron pin that it blew off the green. My brother and I were playing, and it was a par 4, and I hit driver, 8-iron.
It was pretty similar today. There was two par 3s that we all hit driver into today, which is pretty extreme. But the actual course, the setup here, amazing. We'll have a kind of full video of the trip coming up, but I wanted to chat to you mostly today about the fact that obviously got the new launch of the gear coming up. I've been testing it on the range. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, and people are interested to know kind of like a little bit more. I think one of the main questions which has come up a lot about this range, and to get your kind of thoughts on PXG and where you're going to be going moving forwards, because we've had kind of a bit of a move in some respects of PXG being premium quality brand at a real top price point. and now it seems to be coming down and competing with what you would call, the established manufacturers. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of like a tactic on your part? What was the thing?
Well, what we've always done is we've always priced our products in accordance with what it cost us to make, mm-hmm. and first and foremost, we're interested in the quality of the product and the performance, and after that, we look at what it costs us, then we put a price on it. Mm-hmm. And so now we're in the position where we have significant volume, and with that, prices come down. Gotcha. And so, for example, I mean, there was times when we would sell our initial irons at the high 300, 395, 4 1/4, that sort of thing. And at the time, I mean, we had many customers come in to buy it because it was nothing like it. And many give us a credit card and never even ask us what the price was. Well, you know what? So what we've decided to do is we've decided that we will absolutely keep the quality and the performance first class. I mean, we will never cut costs there. But now with the volumes that we have, we're able to be more competitive, particularly given that we market direct. So, for example, our Gen 6 driver, which I believe, and I have the data to prove it, outperforms every other driver on the market in every category. And most importantly in dispersion, but distance, it's right with everybody. But being in the middle, brother, that's what it's all about, especially if you're long in the middle, right? So our competitive products are $5.99, $6.29, and like so, ours is coming to market at $4.99. Our irons, which are, you could just look at them and tell we spend some money developing these babies, and we're going to bring them to market for $2.19 each. Yeah. And I believe our potential customers and many would be rather pleased that we're there. Yeah. And I'm pleased that we can do that. But one of the big reasons we can do that is with us, there's no middleman. And I mean, so literally, we don't have to have, a profit for a retailer, which is always significant, right? And then profit for ourselves, and then so forth. So we just need to have the profit for ourselves. So that brings the cost down.
Yeah, it's interesting.
The price down.
Yeah, it's interesting because most manufacturers people be kind of familiar with will sell into a business, a pro shop, they will sell on, and then that's the margin for the business. And then obviously the manufacturer will get the sale price that the shop buys it for. You're opening your own stores,
yes,
as well. So I saw a few in Phoenix. Is that going to be something which kind of continues to expand?
Well, that's what the plans are. I mean, last year this time we had 12 stores. Now we have 22, and we continue to plan to expand them. We are interested in what the economy is going to be doing, and what the post-golf boom is going to look like, and so forth. But we're still going ahead and opening stores. We're going to open a number of them in California, which we have not opened any in, and that market is just a wonderful place to be. And what we find is when somebody visits one of our stores, they really get to understand our equipment, and that's what we want. You hit one of our clubs, you want it. That's just all I'll say.
Okay, I think with that, I mean, it's interesting with the expansion, and like you were saying, we had a bit of a group chat last night about this. What do you think is going to happen as far as the golf market and the golf industry is concerned? Because we have had this expansion, this growth since COVID, and now we might be seeing just the start of a little bit of a decline. Do you think it will return a little bit back to what it was pre-COVID?
No, not a chance. And I mean, you mean when it was at its high, COVID? Yeah. And let me explain why. When COVID first hit, you know, everybody stayed home. Mm-hmm. People canceled all their travel plans, and you know, and just they were home. Yeah. So as a result, you know, the money they would normally spend to travel and to do this and go out to dinner and all those things, you know, just kind of started stacking up. Mm-hmm. And you know, I have friends that told me that when people were first able to start coming out and about and doing things, it was like the accumulation was like $6 trillion, right? And money, you know, and money to spend.
Disposables, yeah.
All right, and one of the few things you could do then was play golf. Mm-hmm. And so the golf courses were open, people could play golf, and then of course, you know, they bought golf equipment and they did all those sorts of things. And also back then, Peter, during that time, interest rates were incredibly low. Yeah. I mean, really low, 1-2%.
Well, nothing with it, really.
Yeah, exactly. And inflation was nothing, right? And so look at things today now. Today now, the economy is slowing. Mm. You're seeing layoffs in every quarter. Amazon is laying off people. Mm. I mean, many people, thousands and thousands. Now, Amazon sells products across the whole economy, right? So if you watch their sales, that'll tell you what the economy's doing. Very true. And so things are slowing. Interest rates are high now and going higher. Inflation is the same, and all that excess cash has already been spent. Yeah. All right. So you have to ask yourself, what are people going to do? So the people that, you know, golf is a difficult game to learn. There's no secret about that. And so the people that got involved with it for something to do are now doing something else. Yeah. Right? Because there's other things they can do. And then there's also when the money gets involved, you know, and so, you know, there's less of it. And so, Peter, it's got to decrease. Okay. So that's just what we see.
Yeah, I mean, it does have a sense of inevitability about it, I think, in some respects. But fingers crossed they can buck the trend again. But I think you're right. I think as far as cost goes, we've spoken about this a little bit over the last few days and heard about it. Ball's just been launched.
Yes.
That's coming in US at a kind of lower cost, obviously, than Pro V1, which is just continually getting more and more expensive. I know in the past that you've spoken about you had no interest in actually making a ball. Kind of what was the change?
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you, you know, I did say that I would never make a golf ball. And, you know, Peter, I also said I would never get married. But I did get married, and I adore my wife. I'll tell you that. It's one of the best things that ever happened to me. Renee's just wonderful. And golf ball, kind of like the same thing. Okay. You you may not realize it, but we have been kind of toying around with a golf ball since 2013. Okay. And at first, we were going to name the company Slick Golf. Right. And we later named it PXG. And if you want to see something fun, go to the internet and look up slickgolf.com and go to the About. Okay. And you'll see something that'll say that, welcome to Slick Golf. We're the only golf equipment company that can honestly say no one has ever hit an unruly shot with a piece of our equipment. And the reason is because we don't exist. And given the fact that we don't exist, we're amazed that you found this website. And because of that, we think you're pretty slick.
There we go. You can see after this podcast, traffic to that website increases. Oh dear. And what have you seen as far as like response to this ball has been so far? Because we've done a little bit of testing here. It was interesting to get it on the course today in that wind. It was kind of hard to tell a little bit around distances, obviously. Around the green, it felt pretty good. And on the presentation that was given last night, like this dispersion story does seem to be pretty big. What have sales been like so far? How's it actually been received?
Well, we had a significant supply. One of the things, we don't announce products until we have them. Yeah. As opposed to, announcing it and having it delivered 4 months later. The deal has been, we had a significant quantity. We announced it and we sold out in 2 days.
Okay.
Well, I was very surprised, very pleased, but very surprised. And so we are, buy all you want, we'll make more. And so we've had significant quantities show up today and all this week, and we'll be all caught up.
Right.
And then we'll see how it goes from there. Right. So it's been, so far it's been wonderful.
Yeah, it's interesting, the golf ball market. It'd be interesting to see where people kind of place it. Because obviously, like price point as well, that is it's kind of below Pro V. That's in there with your Chrome Soft kind of, just above like Chrome Soft X, your Shrixons, that kind of ball. Who are you trying to target with this ball? Is this?
We're trying to target golfers.
Okay.
And it's very general targeting as far as the golfing community is concerned. We feel, and this is no secret, Titleist makes an excellent golf ball. They always have, and they do a great job. But given that, so do we. Our ball is an excellent ball, and it is right with Titleist, right? A little better in some areas, very close in other areas. But Titleist now, a box of Titleist costs you $54.99. This is $39.99, and we're happy to sell it all day long at that price. And it's not an introductory price, it's the price.
Yeah. And
our customers appreciate that. And I think to really appreciate this ball, all you have to do is play it. I was asked about durability. Well, it has a slightly thicker cover, which adds increased durability. And because we make it so soft, it spins around, when you need it to. And we also made it bright white, so it's a little easier to find. So we're very proud of this thing, Peter. Very proud of it.
Perfect. Cool. No, I am very much looking forward to get it on the data to give it some testing as well as the clubs that we've got so far this week. Bob, just want to say thank you. I've got all those are like general questions from people. R. McMillan was the last one that says thank you for your service.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely, brother.
There we go. We had quite a few of those, but I thought I'd read that one out last. Perfect. Bob, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, thanks for having us down. Really appreciate it.
All right.
So, yeah, interesting guy.
Okay.
Interesting character. I would like to go back and experience Scottsdale National again, 100%. When we were there, if you've not seen the video, the weather wasn't kind of ideal. It was very windy and quite cold. So
snowing.
Yeah, you're not just quite cold.
Quite cold. It was snowing. As we mentioned in that video, though, we have got all the PXG clubs back now, so we can do the comparison testing, and I'm looking forward to that. I think the driver does stack up against everything else. The 3-wood is very good.
Yeah.
After I did a little bit more testing yesterday when I played, and the hybrid also very, very good. I don't think I'll switch out that stealth one yet, but yeah.
They all just seem very powerful clubs, don't they? They're all just very, very strong clubs.
Yeah,
the iron's quite strong lofted as well. So like
the irons are effectively
like a P790.
Yeah, P790 kind of version. But actually,
they sound brilliant.
Yeah, I actually think they feel a little bit better than the P790s.
Okay, they'll be coming out the bank.
So yeah, listen, the reviews that are going to come for it fairly interesting. I'm excited to do the comparison because obviously we've not done a PXG before. So
I edited the fitting video, and I don't think I've ever seen you make comment on how you liked at a certain point in the filming, how you liked each of those clubs. You're like, I really like this putter. I'm like, oh, these wedges are really nice. Oh, the irons are really good. Like they're like everything in that set has something going for it. So it's going to be very exciting to see, like you said, the driver up against the big boys, the wedges, putter, lots of great stuff.
Wedges are going to be a random one. Wedges are something which I wasn't expecting to like as much as I did.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm going to do Build My Bag, and they're going to be going in the mix, definitely.
Okay. Exciting. Very excited to hear. Kieran.
Yeah.
Take us home.
Yes.
Can I just also give a shout out to everyone on Discord and in the comments who said that they really liked your script.
Oh, brilliant.
Your script was exceptional. And lots of people said that they like squirted juice through their nose when you said, excellent.
I saw one, it was, someone was driving a car and they nearly crashed. I was like, but no, also I was meant to say this at the start of the podcast. I do apologise for anyone that last week may have been listening to on Spotify or Apple and got 10 minutes in and realised that you probably had listened to that same one before. So I apologise for that. That's my fault. I impressed myself that day about that. So
uploaded the wrong one. I
uploaded the wrong podcast, so I do apologise for that.
Well, this is the right podcast.
This is the right podcast, and I might just do the same script again because I'm not confident enough.
No, so if you are driving your car, can you please move into the lay-by?
Yeah. So this is an explanation of the game that we play at the end of every podcast called Guess the Player. And to explain more, here's Kieran Mulhall.
Welcome, everybody, to Guess the Player, a segment we do every week here on the Rough Cut Golf Podcast. Each week, I pick a player and rattle off facts about this specific person, ranging from hard to easy clues. You all have one life and your unique buzzers. Jacob's is...
Get in the hole.
Pete's is... Caca. Mick's is...
Cool, blimey.
Excellent.
Yes.
And the current standings are...
On the table.
Right here.
Right, let's get into it.
Okay, here we go.
So, first one. I attended the University of Arkansas.
Okay.
Good.
My knowledge of Arkansas University is limited, I must admit.
Mm-hmm. I think they're like...
I think they're playing red.
I honestly think they're like their nicknames like the Warthogs or something. I know I can see their logo. It's like a boar.
Razorbacks.
Razorbacks. No.
I made that up off the top of my brain.
That does sound kind of right, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm glad we knew that one. Yeah, facts. We dropped straight facts on this podcast.
I think it's Arkansas. I'm a bit...
Good start.
God's sake.
No. ARKANSAS.
Arkansas.
Yeah, just checking.
Not Arkansas.
Kieran's joke about himself is that he can't read, so...
All right. Right, okay.
Or speak, to be honest.
I can do that pretty well.
I can
talk to people.
I'll tell you what you can do. Neck a Guinness.
Yeah. Right. I've had 19 wins across 7 tours.
Okay.
19 wins across 7 tours. Wow.
7 tours. Professional wins.
Been about a bit.
Okay.
Nothing yet.
When you get it, put it in the comments below.
Mm-hmm. This is... some of the clues I could have given would have given it away straight away. Okay. So I've had to be really, really specific with these clues.
Really strict.
That's fine.
Next one. My highest rank was 23rd in 2005.
Wow. It's an old one.
23rd in 2005.
Let me just go back to when I didn't watch golf and work out who
That's
it is.
not a very high ranking either, is it?
No.
That's okay.
Actually, no, that is very high. Very, very high. Not that Tommy Fleetwood is right there right now, but that is very high.
God, I literally thought we were going to get through a whole podcast episode without saying his name, and we haven't done it. I need to stop saying Sicky. You need to stop mentioning Tommy Fleetwood.
And we need to stop mentioning Jason Day.
No, he's going to win the Masters.
Yeah.
Come on, Jason.
Any guesses? No?
No.
In 1987...
Oh, my.
Good Lord.
I'm -10.
I became pro.
You turned pro in 1987?
Yeah.
Were you born in 86?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So you remember
I remember it very well, yeah.
I'm trying to work out how old they are.
Think about the eras.
25, yeah, but 23rd in the world in 2005.
That was my highest ranking.
Sheesh.
Okay.
I now play on the Champions Tour.
Yeah, well, I assume that would be the case.
Still knocking about then?
Yeah, still knocking about, still swinging it.
Not snuffed it yet.
It's definitely not Bernard Langer, because he's won a lot.
That's the thing, like most of the guys on Champions Tour, like the ones that we know, like they all achieve very high.
I've got a name in my head.
I have also. He hasn't mentioned major wins yet.
Okay.
I've had 2 major wins.
Okay, it's not who I thought then.
2 major wins. How can you have 2 major wins and only be 23rd
in the world? Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly, bro.
And 19 over 7 tours.
So does this, just as an aside, does the like 7 tours thing mean that they had to like work their way up to the
It'll be
bigger
PGA
tours?
Champions Tour, European.
Yeah, it can be Corn Ferry, Asian
like,
Tour.
Right, okay, and they're all quite big. It's not as if they've like played a load of tiny little...
Well, I don't think some of them are currently going at the moment.
Right,
like
okay. I'm just trying to gauge like what their
like one
build,
of them was
what,
like a sunshine
what their
tour.
build was to number 23 in the world and 2 major wins. That is odd that they won 2 majors and only 23rd in the world.
Oh, Peter Finch.
Finch Media.
Oh,
Yeah.
John Daly.
Yeah.
very good.
Very good. Very good.
The first guess.
Yeah, he has only won 2 majors, but I was just thinking 23rd in the world.
That's what I thought would throw everyone
Not
off.
exactly the most consistent golfer in the world, is he? So,
Yeah.
okay.
Very good.
That's amazing. Well
That
done.
was good, yeah.
Yeah,
Very, very good.
the 2 majors gave it away. And you know what, the 2 majors gave it away, and I think in this instance, being 23rd in the world actually helped me out.
Do you think?
Yeah.
If I'd not gone on to the major bit, the next clue was, which maybe I should have put before, was I was the first player in PGA Tour history to average 300 yards.
No, I would have got it.
You'd have got, that's what I think.
It was. Yeah, I knew he was the longest.
That's what I was thinking
for a period of time.
So it was either one of the other.
Yeah,
So,
there must be very few players who win majors and don't achieve a higher ranking than 23rd.
There's got to be a stat there, like what's the majors to world ranking ratio? Like, who's got the most majors but also was the lowest down the world rankings?
Yeah. Well, the first event he won on like the tour was the PGA Championship in 1991.
Wow. His first PGA Tour win was a major.
Yeah. Which I imagine, is that when it was Matchplay? In 1991, do you know?
No, it was like literally back in the 40s.
Oh,
30s.
right.
Oh, right, okay. Deep knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
Spectacular.
Cool.
Well done, Peter.
Okay.
You've gained an additional
And
point.
also, sorry, one more thing. He never played in the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Never played in the Ryder Cup.
Not a team player, is he?
No, didn't know that.
It's not a team player.
So, yeah.
He also looks very much like the Arkansas logo that I was just talking about. So
He's the mascot.
maybe that's who it is.
They're the Arkansas Dailies.
The Arkansas Dailies, yeah.
There's a lot on the Wikipedia about him that I could have gone into, but go and read it because it's quite interesting.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character.
Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, guys, thank you very, very much for being on the podcast once more. Biggest thank you, of course, goes to everybody watching and listening. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel already, you will also have known by now that we're doing a big giveaway when we get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you are listening on your favorite podcast provider and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, do that. If you are watching on YouTube and you haven't given us a follow on your favorite podcast provider, please do that now. Also, join us on our Discord, where you will get to talk to us at least 6 times a day, as it is manned 24 hours, 365 days. That may or may not be a lie. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. It's Masters Week next time.
See ya.
Let's go.